What's going on, guys? It's your boy John, the Liquidator, coming back with breaking news. So it looked like Paul Finebaum of ESPN has definitely lost his marbles. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Boulder. Let's get it. Let's go. Shake the haters off. Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes is on the cliffs of pulling out for something major. You want to know what that is? That's potentially landing five-star quarterback Juju Lewis to secure the future of Boulder, Colorado, and this football team. Now, Paul Finebaum went on ESPN today with another huge attack. I mean, this thing was catastrophic, the things he said about Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes today. Now, I know I stated I was staying out of the kitchen when it come to negative stories, but people flooded my inbox to react to this situation. And y'all know I'm the people champs. I got to put my 2 cents in. This man is completely delusional, dog. We just got to keep it real. When it comes to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes 2024 season, it's going to be fireworks. I don't know why it's so hard for the big-time media to get there through their head, dog. They is pulling off something epic. They have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country. Coach Prime did completely revamp this offensive line. And the more I looked into that Paul Finebaum situation, I noticed he didn't just attack Coach Prime, he attacked Lincoln Riley at USC as well, which lead me to believe this is a play. You want to know what the play is? Stop Juju from coming to Colorado. Because you want to know why? Because Juju is the quarterback of the future. They is trying everything they can to stop him from committing to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. And it looked like it ain't just them. They trying to stop this young man from going to USC as well. Whatever the case may be, Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes is going to be the front runners in landing this young man. I'm telling you right now, Paul Finebaum is tripping. The whole nation is tripping. When it comes to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, he is going to do exactly what he did at Jackson State. The blueprint is set. And if you can't see it, you don't need to be watching football, bruh. Coach Prime is pulling off some legendary stuff in Boulder, Colorado, and we all gonna see it displayed this season. Now, with all that being said, let's check out what this fool had to say. Roll the footage, man.
I've listened to that sound multiple times now as, Heather and Paul are next to each other with this good. I still am not exactly sure what Deion Sanders is saying, so maybe you guys could help me out with that. That's not the point, though. The point is here now, and Heather, I'm going to go to you first. How likely is Deion to get Colorado eventually to a college football playoff?
Well, I'm glad you said the word eventually because it's going to take a while. It's certainly not going to happen this year. This year, they're not even a contender, in my opinion, for the Big 12 conference because they've got so many issues. And I think it's going to take a while because let's start with the transfer portal. 41 players in, I want to say, more than any other team in the FBS. 53 players out. Look, how are you developing chemistry within your team, within your locker room, when you have that much of just disarray in terms of your roster? And then you've got the on-field issues, right? 52 sacks on Deion Sanders, 124th in the nation in scoring defense. I mean, there are real issues on both sides of the ball that they have to fix. And to me, that just doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, let me piggyback on that for a second. Anyone asking whether Deion Sanders and Colorado are close to the playoffs simply doesn't understand the reality of the road. They're not going to the playoffs this year, and I'm not sure Deion Sanders is ever going to get them to the playoffs because I don't think he has the patience to stay at Colorado long enough. There's so many misconceptions out there. Deion Sanders is the best salesman I've ever seen. I personally love the guy and for what he stands for. But the program looking out has a ridiculously inflated view of itself. I heard Deion Sanders, who's a fabulous quarterback, say last week, "We are everyone's Super Bowl." Deion, you are not. You are an easy win nowadays. You got off to a phenomenal start last year, beating a couple of mediocre teams that had big names. And quite frankly, you haven't done anything since other than crash and burn. So I know that the media loves this story. We fall all over ourselves. But Colorado isn't important in college football. Deion Sanders is. He's a standalone person. He's one of the most charismatic people we've ever seen. But Colorado is nothing. They don't matter. They're irrelevant in the big picture of college football.
Do you think he will eventually take all these players that he's accumulated through the transfer portal and beyond and get to a college football playoff berth?
Shay, to answer your question, I think it depends on how long Deion Sanders stays at Colorado. If he's there for 5 years, I think he will eventually get them to the college football playoff. Now, to address some of that ether that Paul Finebaum just directed at Deion Sanders, Colorado is everybody's Super Bowl. The reason that they are the Super Bowl is because all eyes are on them. I still remember Dan Lanning telling his locker room that Colorado was there for clicks and they're there for wins, right? They knew that they went out there with a vengeance, and they did blow them out. But they played harder in that game than they played in any other game of the season. So if Shedeur in his mind is saying that, hey, Colorado is everyone's Super Bowl because they think they're so great, I can kind of see where Paul is going. But he's saying in the sense of everyone wants to beat them into the ground because they do have the number one quarterback in the nation. And they do have the number one wide receiver and cornerback in the nation in Travis Hunter. And they do have the biggest personality at the head coach position in Deion Sanders. So, Paul, yes, people do know Deion, but it's also because he is a great coach and he's a Hall of Fame corner. But you know his players, and what he is doing in the portal is bringing in guys that have a like mindset to him and what he wants to accomplish. He is trying to find the right guys from the past 10 years of terrible recruiting that Colorado has had. And I believe if he can get Colorado to the college football playoff, it will be a great thing for college football. Not just for the eyes, but also being able to take a program and take them to new heights. Colorado has not won a conference championship since before Shedeur Sanders was born. They are relevant in this space. Will they win 9, 10, 11 games? I don't know. But I'm not going to try to kick them while they're down at 4-8. If they win purely 6 games this year, I call that a success.
I want to give a big shout out to the homeboy Gucci over at Twitter for sharing that there with us, man. Whatever the case may be, Paul Finebaum was out of line to say that about Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. A seriously bad take. And me personally, he needs to tighten up and look at the team as a whole before he make any other statements about Coach Prime and the Bus, because you clearly is lost in the sauce. Get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about this. Keep them bells on, because you know I'm going to bring you the news. And until next time, man, it's a big one. Shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out.
You coming. You should have seen by now. Coming. Yeah, they talking about it. Coming. They doubting us. We coming. They saying. We coming. They think it's a game. We coming. I don't give a damn what they say. You best believe. We coming.